Hi, folks. Welcome back to Cortisco's Corner. Two-tiered system? Many Pennsylvania counties didn't allow voters to cure rejected mail-in ballots. Just a new survey of county election clerks found many didn't implement Secretary of State's guideline to cure ballots, opening potential door to legal challenges. I've run in 5 local races here in upstate New York as a city council member. I've never liked the curing of ballots. It's the process. And what was happening was, in a lot of places, not just here, that a ballot would be, say there was a problem with it. They would bring it to the person's door and have them correct it. But the problem is they're all one-sided. They all seem to be 98% Democrat. That's the problem. And we'll read on with the story. But before we get into this, I want to thank all my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. And anybody out there that I'll never ask for money, but I will ask if you could, for your support. If you could subscribe and like the videos, that would really be a huge, huge help. And also, if you could share some of these videos on other social media sites or just leave links in other media as well to push my channel a little bit, that would be very, very helpful. And being new, it's really hard getting started. And also, I'll leave a link in the description. I also have a Twitter page at Cortisco's Corner. Let's read on. The boards of elections in at least 15 Pennsylvania counties did not implement last-minute state instructions. See, that's the thing, last-minute instructions. You're making this up as you go along. Not good, not cool. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That's not a good idea. And that's what was going on. Pennsylvania was the worst. Then he could have an extension for a few days to count. Then he got 3 more days. Then you had till Friday. And then the poll watchers weren't allowed. And then they got a court order to observe, and they made him go too far away. And then they put cardboard up on the windows. What the hell's going on in Philadelphia? But anyway, I digress. Last-minute instructions on curing, I like the quotation marks, faulty ballots on Election Day, while at least 14 counties followed the Secretary of State's advice, according to a just a new survey that exposes two-tiered voting counting system that can face a legal challenge. Yes, equal rights, equal vote under the 14th Amendment. If you're allowing one to cure it and not the other, that's a violation. That's a huge deal. And if you remember, the precedent for this is Bush v. Gore 2000. You remember that fiasco. In guidance sent to her state's 67 counties dated October 21st, Pennsylvania Secretary of State Kathy Bokvar advised that a voter whose mail-in ballot was rejected would be eligible to vote in person with a provisional ballot on Election Day as the way to cure their ballot. I don't want to disenfranchise people. I really don't, because it's hard and hell to get people to go out and vote anyway. All this, there's just too much room for chicanery. There's too much room for people to do the wrong thing. And we all know people, given the opportunity, will do the wrong thing if they don't think they're going to get caught. It's just the way human nature is, especially if you're a political zealot and your ideology is so part of you that you think about nothing else. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on either. Pennsylvania Republican Mike Kelly, State House of Representatives candidate Joseph Hamm, and 4 other plaintiffs sued Bokvar over her guidance. The suit argues that individuals who submitted rejected mail-in ballots shouldn't have been given provisional ballots on November 3rd. I agree. Jonathan Marks, Deputy Secretary of State for Elections and Commissions, advised county election officials on November 2nd to inform party and candidate representatives about the identification of voters whose ballots have been rejected as the way to facilitate communication with these voters. Oh, I love these terms. A spokesman for the Pennsylvania Department of State told Just the News that every county in the state received the October 21st guidance at the last minute. And an election official who declined to be identified told Just the News that there was a private group chat that includes all the directors of the boards of elections in the state, and the last-minute guidance was shared inside that group. Just the News has reached out to the Board of Elections in all 67 counties. The counties that implemented the guidance included, and they list the counties there. The counties that decided not to follow last-minute guidance, and they list the counties that didn't because it was done at the last minute. And if you're looking at these, I don't know Pennsylvania that well. Binghamton, where I live, sits right on the PA border, about 10, 12 miles north of central Pennsylvania. They look like one side is basically Democrat counties and one side is Republican counties. So, take it for what it's worth. County election officials in Adams, Chester, and Columbia just told Just the News that the rejected mail-in and absentee ballots were set aside and declined to comment further due to ongoing litigation. Oh, boy, I smell some refrigerated fish here. The Board of Elections, the remaining 35 counties, did not respond to Just the News' multiple attempts to ask if they followed the guidance. After Election Day, Pennsylvania Senate Majority Leader Jake Corrin and Senate President pro tempore Joe Scarnetti called the Brock Farr to resign over a handling of the rejected mail-in ballots, arguing that Brock Farr's fundamentally altered the way state runs its elections. Yeah, you just can't make up rules as you go along. The department changed the rules again on November 2nd. That's the day before the election, mind you, when a whole crapload of absentees were in here because of that ridiculous mass mailing of tens of millions of ballots, even if the people, a lot of them weren't even registered. November 2nd, when they provided last-second guidance directing counties to provide information to help voters whose mail-in or absentee ballots were incorrectly completed so those voters could vote on a provisional ballot, Corman and Scarnati wrote in a joint statement. Gee, the day before. The latest release of this guidance resulted in inconsistent application across the counties, some of whom contacted voters as directed and some who did not. Gee, I wonder if the majority of the people that got contacted, either they brought the ballot to their door to fix or came in and fixed them, had a D in front of their name. Things that make you go, The state senators added there is no basis for this guidance in current law. Yeah, you can't make it up as you go along, like with the extensions. Secretary created this new process out of thin air, which she did. Corman said during a recent press briefing that his office did not yet have the total number of counties who allowed voters with rejected mail-in or absentee ballots to cure their ballots on Election Day with a provisional ballot. Rockfar was asked the day after the election about Lancaster County's decision not to follow the guidance on carrying rejected election ballots is absolutely feasible and not even challenging, she said. What the hell? These people talk in circles. It's hard to defend an indefensible position because we all know, we're all smart enough, common sense says, why some of these rules were changed. Am I implying the FRAUD word? Well, I can't say much on videos or YouTube will take them down or maybe even Twitter, who knows. But nonetheless, I do have to say, though, YouTube's been pretty good. They did restrict one of my videos where a gentleman was assaulted during the Million Mega March to people over 18, and I went along with that. I didn't have a problem with it, and that's the only interference I've had with YouTube so far, so I'll give them that. Of course, I'm a very small channel, and hopefully I'll get bigger over time, and your subscriptions and your shares would really, really help that out. But they've left so many openings for the FRAUD to happen. Did I say it's happening? I don't know. Boy, sure as hell looks like it, but who really knows? And that's the problem. They've left so many loopholes and ways to scam the system that you don't know if these things are legit anymore. It's crazy. But anyway, folks, that's the story. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.